सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। Hari Om. Today we are having the third session of this series, where we are discussing about the four gatekeepers to freedom, moksha. In the first session, we have seen Shama, control of mind or quietude of mind, as the first most important quality that is necessary on the path of liberation. The second quality we saw in the last session yesterday was Vichara, not just thinking but enquiry. Enquiry into what? So we started the whole topic by saying how intellect is a unique instrument that human beings have got, fully developed intellect. And therefore, that which is special in us, which is not available in other beings, we must use. Now, when we say we must use, the question comes where and where not. Where should we use that intellect and where we should not spend that much time? It is not that we should not do it in any other place. That is not the point. The point is, what is that intellect meant for? Where it should be spent? That is a question that needs to be answered. Say, for example, we saw that there are many people who will employ their intelligence into the things of the world, and that is how they will come up with different discoveries and different research in different fields, and that by that they will make the world a better place to live. There are some people who will use that intelligence in wrong way, and therefore that intelligence will be destroying the world. That also happens. We see that even the terrorists, etc., many of them have been well educated and qualified people, but what happened? They use their intelligence in the destructive manner. Gurudev would explain this as, he will say, scientists, economists and politicians. He will say in all these fields also there are intelligent people who are trying to make the world a better place to live. So intellect can be used in all these areas, there is absolutely no doubt about it. But where that intellect should be used is in the area of knowing one's own truth, one's own self, in trying to find out what is that absolute truth, who is the creator behind this wonderful creation that we see. If we do not use intellect here, then we have not used the full capacity of the intellect. We might have gained this, that, everything. And that's why we will see even in scriptures themselves will say that just knowing scriptures is not the goal. You have to go beyond them. And therefore they will say, what if you have studied all the Vedas? So what? Tatakyam. So what? So intellect should be used to go beyond intellect, to manage the mind, to redirect that mind towards that highest truth that we all must reach. That is where intellect should be used. Then we said, when you are defining this, okay, fine, how should it be used? That is also important thing. Where, in which direction to use or for what you are using the intellect, that is one thing. Second thing, we must also think about how to use this intellect, how to do vichara, how to think. Pujya Guruji Swami Tejomananji always says, this how to think is a very interesting topic. Because we don't necessarily pay attention to it. We forget to train ourselves in thinking. See, from childhood, if we see, we have collected lot of data, lot of information in schools, colleges, etc. That's what we have done. We may say that we have become educated and we have learned, but actually what we have done is we have collected a lot of data. And if we are able to reproduce that data in the examination, everybody calls us very clever people. Why? Because you get nice marks. But marks cannot be the judge of that, because most of the times our education system only checks your memory and not your capacity to think. And that's why there are these aptitude tests and these exams, entrance exams, etc., which are little bit asking you to think, and many people are not able to crack it. Though they have got a lot of marks in their 10th, 12th, etc., they are not able to crack it. Why? Because a different kind of training is required to go there. So this how to think is a very interesting question. And we saw that scriptures guide us by saying that the methodology to think is a three-step process. Number one, we must listen. Listen means what? Listen to the knowledge that is being given by the Guru of the scriptures. Why? Because all our thinking is going to be in the direction in which the knowledge is given. Otherwise, we will not know what to think about. Just you can't imagine you call somebody for a program and 15 people, 20 people come and you say, now think. But think about what? You have to give us some material to think, isn't it? Give us some topic, give us some ideas, give us something, then we will think. So that Shravana is first step, that you try to understand, not just listen, not just collect the data, but try to understand what is the meaning. Then after that Shravana, you do Manana. The second step is you reflect, you chew on that entire topic of what you have listened. And we saw different techniques can be used for this Manana. One technique can be that when you are listening, you start writing also independently, so that you understand, okay, this was the point, then this was the point. Whatever is your understanding, you start writing. See, writing is a very interesting process, because when you are writing, you get time to think. Many of the times when you are speaking, you don't have that much time. But for writing, because it takes little more time, therefore you get more time to think. And therefore, what you write becomes a culmination of your thought process along with what you have listened. So you can write notes, you can make, you can speak. We said yesterday one very interesting thing. Speak to yourself, speak to some objects. Don't bore people, but just to check whether you have got that point or not. Or just independently taking time out and just thinking, mulling over it, bringing out different questions yourself and trying to see if that is getting resolved from the knowledge that I have received. And the last way we saw is, if you have people who have similar interests, if you have people with similar kind of bent of mind, then you come together and you discuss. Study group. That is another way of this vichara. Now, when we do this Vichara, what should be the result of this Vichara? That also we thought about in the last session. We said this Vichara should not create ego or arrogance. Many times people who are independent thinkers, who have learned something new, start to have this kind of feeling that we are the best ones. Something that I have got, nobody else has got. That will create a lot of arrogance. In our tradition, we say that there is no thought that is original, no question that is original, and no answer that is original. Everything has been discussed before by someone. The moment we realize this, our humility will increase. Why? When we think that, oh, I have got one original thought. What original thought? What is the proof that this is a thought that came to you only and none of the other people have thought about it? That's why we will see the methodology of Puranas and Ityasas, the scriptures that we have, Ramayana, Mahabharata or Bhagavad Purana or other Puranas. Whenever any question is asked by somebody, instead of just answering, they will tell, similar question was asked by Naradji to Brahmaji. Why are you going there? To make you humble that you are not the first one asking this question. Similar question was asked there and similar answer was given. So, I will give you the answer that is given by Brahmaji. That is also to show that I am not starting something new. I am just continuing the Jnana Parampara which has come to me. To such an extent that even in Bhagavad Gita, we see Bhagavan Shri Krishna while answering to Arjuna's questions, quotes Upanishads and says, Arjuna, this is not my knowledge. This is not the knowledge that I am giving you. This is the same knowledge which is given in the Upanishads. Why this kind of connection? Just for us to understand that knowledge is nothing called, there is nothing called as originality of thought or originality of knowledge. We are only reproducing the knowledge which was already reproduced by other people. Probably making it relevant to the era at that time, probably making relevant to the mind that I have for myself. That is what we are doing. But the moment we understand this, then what happens? Then that Vichara will not lead to this kind of arrogance. We said what Vichara should lead to? Vichara should lead to Jnana, knowledge, which will further lead to Anubhava, experience, realization. And unless this experience happens, we cannot say that we have completely gained the knowledge. We have completed Vichara, we cannot say. And that is why the third step to that Vichara, after Shravana and Manana, is Nididhyasana, meditation. You have listened, you have reflected, now you allow that ideas and those thoughts to percolate in your being, in your heart, in your mind. So that in every single aspect of your life, that knowledge has gone through. Right? This Vichara then becomes second gatekeeper to freedom, to moksha. And we said in order to practice this Vichara and to gain this Vichara completely, we said two simple things. Every day we will listen to a talk, either 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever, and we will do independent thinking on that thought. Different means we have seen already of how to do independent thinking, right? So, this becomes the second gatekeeper. Now, we go to the third gatekeeper. So, in the verse, if you remember, Shamo Vicharaha Santosha. The third one is contentment. Shama, we said, was dealing with the control and quietude of mind. Vichara, we said, was related to intellect, buddhi. So, mana and buddhi. Now, what is this Santosha? Santosha is already our entire personality. It's not just mind or intellect. It's not a quality that belongs to just mind or just intellect. It is to our whole personality that this Santosha, contentment, is related to. Now, let us go a little more deeper into this. Contentment is secret of happiness. If there is one secret of happiness, that is contentment. We will reach this after thinking. Let us start with the topic of what is happiness. We all want to be happy without any exception. Nobody in the world wants to be sad, right? Nobody goes to temple or church or mosque and prays saying that, God, I have got a lot of happiness. Please give me a little bit of sorrow. Nobody asks like that. Nobody says that let me have more and more problems. There was one very interesting character like that in the Bhagavata. It is mentioned, and that character is Kunti. And Kunti prayed to Bhagavan Shri Krishna and said, may we have more and more calamities in life. Why? Because Bhagavan, we have observed in our life that whenever there is calamity, you come there to help us. Whether it is Pandavas, whether it is me, Kunti, or whether it is Draupadi, whenever there is a problem, you come. So, when we have calamities, we will have your darshan, we will be with you. So, may we have more and more calamities. But mind you, she asked for calamities, not sorrow. Calamities and sorrows are two different things, isn't it? Calamity is what happens to us. Sorrow is what we take from what happens to us. What is our response to that? That is called sorrow or happiness. So, everybody wants to be happy. None of us want to be sad. And for gaining that happiness, we try many things. Generally, when we speak to youngsters or when we speak to children, we will often ask them question, what you want to become? Isn't it? What do you want to become? Somebody says, I want to become teacher, I want to become engineer, I want to become doctor, I want to become pilot, I want to become this, I want to become that. Many answers they will give. The next important question that we must ask is, why? Why you want to become that? They will have their own answers, but now that we have grown up and we have gone through it, now we should think, when we say I want to become this, I want to become that, or I want this, I want that, why do we want that? The simple answer of this question that we will come to is, because that makes me happy. Say for example, we all live in a particular home. In that home, we will have our room, and we will keep our room in a particular way. It can be our desk, our bed, our bedside table, or bookshelf, whatever is there in our room. We will try to keep everything in the way we want. Why? Because that makes us happy. Every single action of ours is directed towards making ourselves happy. Isn't it true? We wear particular kind of dress. We meet particular type of people. We go to particular places, restaurants, even picnic spots. We listen to particular songs. We listen to particular talks. Everything based on what makes me happy. So actually speaking, every single action of ours is towards making ourselves happy. Yes or no? Even the way you are sitting right now is that which will make you happy. And after some time you may change your posture. Why? Because now that makes me happy. So interestingly, every single action of ours is directed towards this gaining happiness. But if we really ask ourselves, am I happy? Vedji, I cannot answer it as yes or no, but sometimes. Somebody will say most of the times. Somebody will say almost all the times. But somebody will also say very rarely. Very rarely I am happy. Now very interesting, if everything of ours is directed towards happiness, how come we are not able to gain that happiness? There is one thing in the entire world that you have always tried to gain in your entire life so far, and that is happiness. Whether you got certain thing or not, from that thing you go want happiness only. We earn lot of money for what? when we have money, we can have things that I like. You see, gaining happiness. We want to build a house, we want to have a car, we want to get married, we want to have children, everything to become happy. So the question must be asked, if I am doing everything for happiness, why am I not getting it all the time? Why am I not getting most of the times? Why am I getting only few times? That is because, or maybe because, we are not putting our effort in the right direction, or we are misunderstanding what is happiness. Think. Our general thinking says gaining whatever I want is becoming happy. Gaining whatever I want, fulfillment of desire, is what will bring happiness. But remember, we saw in the first session itself the concept of freedom. We misunderstand it to be fulfillment of our desire. I do whatever I want to do, then that is freedom. No, that is wrong understanding of freedom, we said. Now, in the same way, you think about it now, is fulfillment of desire the way to gain happiness? Think. In childhood, our parents had to force us to go to school. Correct? None of us wanted to go to school. At least initially. Then later on we made friends and therefore we were enjoying and therefore we wanted to go to school. That's a different thing. But initially everybody was forced. All of us cried on our first day of schooling, isn't it? Your parents must be telling how much you cried and I had to force yourself. They must be telling these stories. None of us went to our parents and said, now I am 4.5, 5-year-old, now put me into school. None of us went. But was that going to school good for our future or not? So mind you, they did something against our desire and that became a happy situation now. If they would not have done that, we will be sad now. Isn't it? They never allowed us to play for a longer time and they always had to force us to come back home. True or no? Then when we became little elder, teenage youngsters started going out, they had to put a rule, before 7 o'clock you must come back. Now that 7 o'clock has become 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock in different parts of the world, that's okay. But in our time it was 7 o'clock. Before 7 o'clock you must come back home. None of us wanted to. So tell me, did all that which was put to us, which was against our desire, did it become right for us or no? We are in a better place because of all those things where we did not fulfill our desire or we were not allowed to fulfill our desire. Yes or no? Fulfillment of desire is not the way to become happy. Why? I can go on and on talking about this subject, but those who have studied little bit of Vedanta, Foundation Vedanta, etc., you know, the moment I try to fulfill a desire, I create many more desires. And as long as there are desires in my mind, I cannot be happy. So by fulfilling desire, I am not actually becoming happy. There is an image created that I have become happy, but actually not. I have just fulfilled one desire. Temporarily, for very short time, I have become free of desire, that particular desire, and that's what I start calling as happiness. Real happiness is not gained through fulfillment of desire. That is number one. Number two, fulfillment of desire is not always possible. Why? Because there are so many people probably wanting the same thing. Two examples that I always give. I want to get married to Aishwarya Rai Bachchan. You have desire. Doesn't mean it is easy to fulfill that desire. Why? Number one, she should know that there is somebody like me who exists who wants to get married. Number two, she should also have the same desire to get married to me. And number three, another problem, she is already married. So I may say that I have this desire, but the fulfillment of that desire is not that easy. So many people wanting the same thing. When we play cricket, bowler is bowling, wants wicket. Batsman is batting, wants to hit a boundary or sixer or wants to score runs. Fielder is trying to catch. Whoever has come as audience, they are trying to support their team and they want their team to win. Now, how can everybody's desire be fulfilled? It's not possible. So, which means what? Always will there be some party which is sad, some party which is happy? Not necessarily. You will become happy or sad if your state of mind is dependent on fulfillment of your desire. Then only you will become happy or sad. If you say I am playing cricket just for the fun of it, then what happens? Whether I win or lose, I am happy. I have enjoyed. That's why in gully cricket, we don't have that problem. Anybody bowls, anybody bats, it doesn't matter. We are playing for fun. When it becomes championship, tournament, this, that, then what? Then desire becomes that I want to win. The moment desire comes, problem starts. So, fulfillment of desire is not always possible. So, then what? Then our scriptures come and say, rather than giving your entire focus on fulfillment of desire, why don't you try to be happy irrespective of that fulfillment of desire? And that is where the topic of contentment comes. It is not the fulfillment of desire that will give me happiness. It is the contentment which will give me happiness. Two problems we saw with the fulfillment of desire. Number one, we fulfill one desire, more desires come up. So we are never actually fulfilling all desires. And number two, fulfillment of that desire is not easy because many people want the same thing. So rather than working on fulfilling more desires, let us try to be contented. Let us see how it works. I always give one example that a person who is walking looks at the person who is going on bicycle and feels that, he is so lucky, he has got bicycle, I have to walk. Or a fellow who is going on bicycle is looking at the person who has got bike and says, that person is so lucky, I have to paddle, he has just to and he can go. Now the person who is going on bike looks at the person in the car and sees the same thing. That person is so lucky, in the sun, in the rain, I have to, go on the bike. But you see car covered, very happy. Now the person in the car is looking at probably another person with a better car, with more luxury, with more security and says, that person is so happy. Now that person is looking at somebody who has got their own helicopter or their own plane, etc. and say, that person is so happy, so lucky. And the fellow who has got his own aircraft, inside that aircraft puts a treadmill and walks. True or no? Because the fellow doesn't get any chance to walk. And therefore looks at the people who are freely walking around and they say, so lucky, they can just walk around, I can't even walk around. So basically, everybody is sad. Why? Because they are looking at somebody who has got more things than what they have. Fulfillment of desire works in this way, that I want to be in that position. Now I am in this position, therefore I am sad. If only each of them can just stop looking at the person in front and look at the person behind and think that, at least I have got this. Rather than saying I don't have bike, you can say at least I have bicycle. Why? Because there are people who do not even have that. So rather than seeing somebody else having something more, if we start looking at ourselves and say I have at least this, that very moment we will become happy. Mind you, we have not gained what we wanted. Even without it, we are happy. And now, nobody can take away this happiness from us. Say, suppose we want to have a car. This happens with most of us. And we purchase the car. And because we have purchased that new car, we are very happy. And then we want to show off to everybody, I have purchased this car. So in your friend circle, you will tell everybody, new car I have taken. Now they will ask question, oh, you have taken new car, congratulations. How much money you spent? Then you say, 20 lakh rupees. 20 lakh. I got it for 19. Gone. Our happiness is gone. We have spent 20 lakh rupees, gotten car, but the moment we come to know somebody has purchased the same car at a lower price, our happiness gone. You see the problem with it? Or somebody says, oh, you have got this, I have taken the best version in that same car. There are so many types, no? I have taken the highest model. Our happiness is gone. So rather than going in this direction of fulfilling desires and becoming happy, if only we can look at our own life and say, at least I have this. I am happy with what I have. You see our generations before us, our parents, our grandparents, they surely had lesser things than what we have. True or no? Probably our grandparents never had their own house. In some cases I am saying, some cases they may have, but I am saying just look at them and look at us. We surely have more things with us than what they had. But they were more happy than us. Why? Because they had something called as contentment. They were happy with what they had. Probably they did not even know that there is something more that can be gained, and therefore they were simple. Let us say life was very simple probably. Various reasons why they were contented and why we are not. Maybe they thought that that is the best they can do, and we have got this bubble in our mind that we can do more. Maybe. Whatever. They were contented and therefore they were more happy. Happiness is not coming from objects or from fulfilling our own desires or gaining more and more wealth. If that was the case, the wealthiest person should be the happiest person. It doesn't happen like that. It never happens like that. By gaining more and more objects, we are never going to become more and more happy. Why? Happiness lies somewhere else. And the scriptures tell us that happiness lies in being contented. The moment we are content, we are happy. I don't have to do something more to become happy. Happiness never remains a futuristic dream. It becomes a present. When I am content. Pujya Guruji, Swami Tejavananji has written one text called Jivana Sutrani, Aphorisms of Life. Well-known name of that text is Tips for Happy Living. Tips for Happy Living is Jivan Sutrani book. In that, he has given small aphorisms, small sutras for our happy life. And in one sutra, he very beautifully he says, Praptasya upekshayam, apraptasya apekshayam, dukkhasya suraksha. He says, if you want to secure your sorrow, means if you always want to be sad, do these two things. What two things that you should do? Praptasya upeksha. Ignore or insult what you have. Apraptasya apeksha. And desire what you do not have. If you do these two things, then your sorrow will be secured. Means you will always be sad. Now what is the positive side of it? If only I can value what I have, respect what I have, be content with what I have, and not desire what I do not have, I can be happy all the time. My happiness will be secured. Are you getting the point? If you want to be sad, just do simple thing. Desire what you do not have and ignore what you have. Then you can be sad all the time. And I tell you, we have met such people, isn't it? the best of facilities given to them, still they will cry. Probably we don't even have to go somewhere else to meet such people. Just go in front of mirror, we will probably meet such people. They will get everything, still they will complain. I have met so many people, when they travel through these flights or even railway trains in India and by bus, etc. And they say, oh, this is not clean, that is not clean. I tell you, I am surprised to the core when they look at the railway platform or the railway compartment, and then they say it is not clean. The only thing that I wish is, please go back 20 years and remember what was the situation of our railways and our platforms. All of us who have seen 20 years back what was the situation, today when we go and travel in train, we feel that it is heaven. Personally speaking, I never in my mind, in my wildest of imagination thought that India can be like this. Look at the metros. Look at the railway stations nowadays. They are so clean that you can sit down. Literally that much clean they are. Probably more clean than our own house. And I am not even exaggerating. I have gone and I have seen. No, not to say Ernakulam is one of the cleanest railway stations of India. Therefore, I can understand that it is like this. I have gone to UP, Uttar Pradesh, where in our childhood they said never go to that place. If you go, please carry more things because it is also dirty. Today you go, it has changed, massively changed. I don't understand what are they crying about. Why? Because they are seeing somewhere else where things are better. They have not seen what it was before. Now somebody will say, no, Vedji, there is a problem with contentment. What is the problem with contentment? If you are content, then your progress will stop. You cannot be ambitious and content at the same time. Now mind you, it is not like that. You can have desire or ambition of gaining something and still be content with what you have. They are not opposites of each other. Say for example, suppose I want to come first rank in my class or in my college or in my university. Suppose if I have that desire, I work hard to achieve it. The contentment problem is not there when you are working for it, when you are ambitious about something and when you are putting efforts. When I get the result, and if it is not the first rank, am I happy or am I sad and crying about I did not get the first rank? Suppose let us say I got third rank, fifth rank, whatever I got. Am I happy that at least I got that rank? Or am I sad saying that why I did not get first rank? That is where the contentment issue comes. Not while having a desire, while having an ambition and while putting efforts. There the contentment problem is not there. You try. You try to become better. You try to be the best. No problem. But be content with what is the result. Yes, next time I will try much better. I will put more efforts. Agreed. But again, I will be content with the result that I get. Contentment has to do with the result of action and not with the action. In morality, in spirituality, while putting efforts, you should never be content with the efforts that you are putting. You should always feel that I should have put more efforts. Some people are content with morality. What do you mean by morality, contentment? This much truth I can speak. More I cannot. I am contented with this much truth. No, while putting efforts, while doing action, you should never be contented. Especially in doing something good, moral, spiritual, never you should be contented. Never have small dreams. Gurudev used to always say, I want to help 5 people have their education. I don't have that small dream. Say that my dream is that nobody in India should remain without education. Whether you fulfill that dream or not, that is a different thing altogether. The point that he is mentioning is, have a goal which will make sure that your efforts you are never content with. That will inspire you to keep putting more and more efforts. The point of contentment comes where, when the result comes, you are happy. You are content with the result that has come. Next time when you do, you will put more efforts. Let me give you an example and you will understand. When Chinmay Mission was formed, and there has to be vision statement, mission statement and all these things for an organization. So somebody asked Gurudev what should be the mission statement of Chinmay Mission. Motto. And the motto that Gurudev gave was, maximum happiness to maximum people for maximum time. Now if you think about this motto, it's a very interesting motto. One thing is, the purpose is very clear. We are here to give happiness to yourself as well as to others. Because if you want to give happiness to others, first you should have it. So first becoming happy and then making sure that others are also happy. And what is that line? That line says, maximum happiness to maximum people for maximum time. This is an achievement which is not possible. Because maximum has no limit. And therefore you can never say, I gave little bit of happiness to 5 people for 3 hours, I am happy. No, you cannot be. Because you have not satisfied the maximum criteria. So while putting efforts, you are never content. You have done this, okay, another opportunity, you will do more. Why? Because there are still more people who can be made happy. There is still scope. So contentment not while putting efforts, but contentment with what has been received as a result of that action. We always put efforts to get maximum people for any program, but then we are content with the number that has come for the program. No, Vedji, if 500 people would have come, no, it would have been nice. Why? The 150 who have come, what is the problem with that 150? Next time when you take up, aim for 500, aim for 1000, no problem. But again when the result comes, be happy with it. If we are not content at the result, then that sorrow will be long lasting. Then we will probably be dejected and we will not even put efforts next time. There are a lot of problems will happen. Oh, I put so much of effort and nothing happened. How do you say nothing happened? One person came. One person got transformed. That itself is a success of the program. Why are you thinking about other maximum? You think, plan for it, try for it, put efforts for it. Nobody is saying no. But when the result comes, I am happy. I am content with the result. So please remember this point. Contentment has to do with the result and not with the effort. Are you getting it? Gurudev was asked towards the, probably when he was little old, if you can use that word for him, that, see, I tell you, people ask very interesting questions, sometimes very audacious also. They asked Gurudev, what will happen to Chinmay Mission after you? What is your vision for it? Gurudev said, I don't care. I started working because I thought that was necessary. If people think that it is necessary, they will continue the work. If they feel that it is not necessary, they will stop the organization. I don't have to worry about it. As long as I am there, I will continue to work with this vision that I have to give maximum happiness, and to do that I have to give the knowledge of scriptures and make people spiritual. That is the job that I have. But you see kind of detachment even from the organization that is created. The organization for which 40 years he has worked, 300 plus centers are created, 700 talk series he has given, even at the end of it, he was not attached to it. That is called as contentment, you see, where you have put all your efforts and still you are content with what has happened. This is the secret of happiness. Santosha, contentment, comes like that. So, now what are we going to do? What are the practical tips to be content? Number one, every day get up and write one thing that you are happy about or thankful of. Write one thing and say, thank you God for giving me this. The only thing is, every day you should write a different thing. Not that every day you get up and write the same thing. Every day it should be different, so that list can go on and on and on. Today I am thankful for ... What I am thankful for today? Today I am thankful for being alive. First point. We often forget this. How lucky we are that we are alive. Today I am happy that I have healthy body, healthy mind, ability to think. Today I am happy for gaining opportunity or for getting opportunity to listen to some Vedanta, to come in contact with Mahatmas like Gurudev, to get to know there is something called as Bhagavad Gita. Today I am happy for being born in this great land called Bharat. Today I am happy. Like this, every single day, write down what are you happy for or what are you thankful for, grateful for today, and thank God, saying that thank you for giving me this. When you do this kind of exercise, a kind of contentment will arise in yourself. My God, I have so many things. Array, people make bucket list of desires that they want to complete. They should make the thanking list. Before we die, we are not supposed to fulfill desires. We are supposed to thank for what we have got in this life. Practice this. Alright? This is one simple practice that we can do. Now, we have seen 3 topics: Shama, Vichara and Santosha. Tomorrow, last topic we will be seeing called Satsanga. There is very interesting way that we can understand all these 4 together. We said these are the 4 gatekeepers to freedom. And freedom is not just that ultimate moksha. Of course, these are the necessary qualities to become liberated. Yes. But for any kind of freedom, these qualities are necessary. Suppose, let us say I want to become a top businessman. I will need Shama, I will need Vichara, and I will need Santosha. I will need it. You take any, I want to become a great sports person, I want to become an athlete, or I want to become a musician, or I want to become engineer, doctor, or whatever I want to become. I need these qualities even for material goals. For those only these qualities are required. What to say about then spiritual goal? They are absolutely necessary. Now, if we specifically speak about this absolute goal of liberation, then this Shama, Vichara and Santosha are actually referring to 3 paths. The paths to liberation in Sanskrit are also called yoga. Today is International Yoga Day. Many times we think that yoga means bending of the body, doing different asanas or pranayama. Yes, that is a part of yoga, that is anga of yoga. But yoga actually is ashtanga. There are 8 limbs to that yoga. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana and samadhi. That path is called as the path of Ashtanga Yoga. And the purpose of this entire path, or the goal of the entire path, is complete mastery over mind. Patanjali Maharshi, who gave Yoga Sutras, who started this entire philosophical exposition of yoga, defines yoga as yoga chitta vritti nirodha, complete cessation of mental thoughts, mental modifications, complete cessation, complete ending is called as yoga. So all other things which are Ashtanga, the 8 limbs of that, are to achieve this goal of mastery of mind. And that Ashtanga Yoga path is given through the quality of Shama as the first quality. Did you see that? The second quality which we saw, Vichara, and we said the way to do Vichara is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. These 3 steps are well known and they are called as path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga, the path of mastery over mind. Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge which will lead to liberation, freedom. That is Vichara. Santosha, contentment, is what is called as Karma Yoga. Performing your duty to the best of your ability and then being content with the result that you get. Karma Yoga. For this Karma Yoga also, Bhagavan Shri Krishna has given definitions in Bhagavad Gita. One of the definitions that he gives is Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. Yoga, Karma Yoga, what he is referring to is efficiency in action, dexterity in action, perfection in action is yoga. When will that perfection come? When the mind is free of result of action. When will mind be free of result of action? When you are content with whatever result you gain. So the result of action is taken out of picture and then you focus your entire attention on the performance of action. That action becomes perfect. So Ishwararpana Buddhi, the attitude of dedication unto God of every single action while performing the action, and Prasada Buddhi, the attitude of accepting everything graciously and joyfully as a gift from God. That is called as Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is Ishwararpana Buddhi plus Prasada Buddhi. In simple terms I am explaining. The details are there in Bhagavad Gita and in all other texts. But simply put, you do your duty to the best of your ability as a worship to God, and when the result comes, you accept that result as wish of God, as gift of God. Then you are always content. Santosha is the essence of Karma Yoga. There are 4 paths that are given in spirituality to gain liberation. 4 main paths, sub-paths and sub-categories are many. Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. That 4th part we will be discussing tomorrow in the next session with the virtue or the quality of Satsanga. So actually these 4 qualities are indicators of 4 paths which we must practice in order to reach moksha. Okay. So this is another way of looking at these four gatekeepers. One way we saw that as an individual I must gain these to gain moksha, correct? But what they actually essentially mean are following of these three paths. Pujya Gurudev will describe this in a very interesting way. He used to say, we have three equipment that God has given us: body, mind and intellect. Those who are physically oriented, those whose entire attention is on physicality, he used to say for them is the path of Karma Yoga. For those who are emotionally oriented, Bhakti Yoga is the path. For those who are intellectually oriented, they ask questions, they inquire, Jnana Yoga is the path. Then what happened to Ashtanga Yoga, Vedji? Those who are still finding out which of these are orientations of their personality, he used to say for them is the Ashtanga Yoga. Then what about those people who have all kinds of orientations? See, body only, mind only, intellect only understood, none of it also understood, all of it, then all are your paths. Why? Because the fact of the matter is we are not completely oriented into anything. Sometimes we are physical, sometimes we are intellectual, sometimes we are emotional, sometimes we are none, sometimes we are all. We are jumping from everywhere to everywhere, and therefore all four paths become our paths. We may choose a particular path for more practice. Say for example, for some people Shravana Manana Nididhyasana becomes easier because they are intellectually oriented, so they may choose that, but still we have to do Karma Yoga, still we have to gain mastery over mind, and still we have to have Satsanga. Everything is connected. So all these four paths we have to walk. For how long we will walk which path, that is left to each one's judgment as per each one's personality. But all these four paths are necessary, and therefore these four paths are given as four gatekeepers to moksha. Are you getting it? I will just give you hint of some more points that you can think about. I am not going to explain now. Explanation is done. Generally in all the scriptures, in Bhagavatam or in Bhagavad Gita or in all such texts, they will say one must have three qualities of Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya, right, in order to get liberation. Even in Vivek Chudamani, Shankaracharya says the same thing. Please think how this Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya are connected with these four paths. That's your homework for you to think. Another way of looking at the whole thing is, it is mentioned again in the scriptures that human beings have got three main desires: Putraishana, Vittaishana, Lokaishana, they will say. Desire to be with opposite gender, to have a family and to reproduce. One. Second, desire to gain more and more wealth and live a prosperous life. Number two. Number three, gain more and more followers, more and more people, power, position is another kind of desire that people have. Please think how these three desires can be fulfilled through these four paths. Think. And last, scriptures speak of four purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Please think how these four purusharthas are connected with the four paths. Why I am giving you this kind of thinking? Because many times when we listen to Vedanta, we keep everything separate. Four purusharthas, separate topic. Four goals of life, or four paths, four yogas, separate topic. Four varnas, separate topic. This separate, that separate, that separate, that separate. It is one knowledge. It all is connected somehow to each other. If only we understand the connection, the entire thing will become absolutely clear in our mind. So now, those people who have studied all these things, the three kinds of desires, Eshana, the three kinds of qualities, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, the four Purusharthas, connect them to these four paths and to these four gatekeepers. That will be a very interesting homework or thinking that probably you will be able to do. Alright? Please think. Vedji, why don't you give answer yourself? I told you, don't be lazy in thinking. Think. When I give answer, it will be so boring. When you yourself find out, it will be so interesting. Why? Because it will be like a discovery. I understood something new. When I tell and you write down, that is so simple. So please think about this. Alright? With that, we conclude today's session. We have seen the topic of Santosha. We started with the topic of happiness and how happiness is not just fulfillment of desire. We also discussed about what then can be the happiness, and we said contentment is the secret of happiness. We saw how contentment can be brought in and why it is so important. We saw different things related to it. How we are always looking at somebody who has more things and therefore we are sad. We should look at ourselves, see what we have, probably look at somebody who doesn't even have that. There's a very famous quote that somewhere someone is happier than lesser things than what I have. This is so true. That there are many people in the world who are more happy than me with lesser things than what I have. Then why am I sad? I am crying about the wristwatch till I saw a person who doesn't have a wrist. So rather than crying about something I do not have, be thankful about what you have. And therefore we decided that the activity that we are going to start to develop this Santosha is, every day we are going to write one thing that we are thankful for, grateful for. That will give us a sense of contentment. Alright? And then we concluded, in between we also said that contentment has to do with the result of the action and not with the performance of the action. The performance you put all your heart and soul and do, but when the result comes, you be content. Right? And finally we saw how these three qualities of Shama, Vichara and Santosha are connected with Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga respectively. And therefore the fourth quality of Satsanga will have connection with Bhakti Yoga. Right? Now the last quality we will see in tomorrow's session. Right? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.